You guys, I just filmed my last video with a whole line of like lip gloss across my chin. So if you saw it, no you didn't. I'm hoping the light will reflect enough to like hide it, but cheers to that. Cheers to that's how my day's going. I got a fresh cup of lemon water this time and a hydration station, baby. Drink your water, it's good for you. But you can also have a glass of wine. I saw people have whiskey, Baileys. Like honestly, I'm just jealous. I cannot film drunk, but I wish I could. Have you ever wanted to get revenge on a coworker? You know, I feel like coworkers are a hit or miss. You could become best friends with a coworker and it's like, yay, I gained a friend in life, which is super awesome. But then there's some coworkers you just don't vibe with, you know, where it's like, we would never be friends in real life, but we gotta be like cordial because we're coworkers. So one of my coworkers is a huge beggar, like aggressively choosy to the point he will bully people who are buying him free things to get exactly what he wants. Unfortunately, the person who does all the food ordering and general paperwork stuff in our office is a super sweet old lady that isn't comfortable telling people no. One day we had pizza for lunch meeting and we all realized that the favorite pizza of everyone in the office was obviously different. She straight up told me that my coworker had stood by her desk and basically berated her until she changed half the pizza to be what he wanted. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I noticed that he hadn't even touched the pizza. He was eating a different one. Oh, that's annoying. I decided to casually ask why he wasn't touching it. Come to find out, he didn't actually want any during that lunch. He figured he might want some leftovers later in the week. So he had to change the order. So basically, this mother effer bullied a sweet old lady on the off chance he might want leftovers later. So you want to guess what I did? I ate it. All of it. I didn't want more than one piece, but I ate all 6 pieces. So he couldn't have any. You bet your ass he complained about it too. I just looked back and said, oh, sorry, did you want some during this meeting? Because if I known you wanted it today, I would have saved you some. He glared at me for about a week and I felt like I just ate Thanksgiving dinner, but it was worth it. Whoever you are, I love you. I think you're great. If I was there, I would have been eating it too. Lactose intolerant and gluten-free, I would eat that pizza just because I am that petty, okay? I will be sick, I don't care. Also, I love that he was trying to use this as like some sort of meal prep for the week. Get out of here. My ex-manager was a total nightmare. I worked at a small office for about 3.5 years and I trained about 5 people during my time there, but none of them stayed because the manager was a complete hell on wheels supervillain. I just said hellion because that, okay. Hell on wheels supervillain. She was really getting on my last nerve one day and I knew she had a Zoom meeting at 3 o'clock. She would always take her work laptop to the back of the office where the bathroom is located for these meetings. Did you just like take a fat dump? Around 2:50, I got up from my desk and went to the bathroom. I was kidding. I took a very large, very smelly dump and did not use any air freshener afterwards. I was kidding. I was totally kidding. When she went to the back to start her meeting, she flipped out. She immediately went to the front of the office and swung open the front door and turned on the AC. She muttered curses under her breath while I sat at my desk holding back my laughter. I had to put up with her stuff all day long. I figured she deserved to put up with mine for an hour-long Zoom meeting. That makes me a little bit nauseous. I can't believe I was totally kidding. Totally kidding. I thought you were gonna just make a bunch of noise in there, turn on the sink, flush a bunch of times. I was totally joking about taking a fat dump. No, you took that dump. You took that dump. Okay. They told me that if I were to leave tomorrow, no one would notice. Well, I quit last week, took all of my stuff in the middle of the night, including the microwave, all cutlery, all spices, and all the pots and pans from the break room. I think they will notice. I think they will too. I think they will too. And now you got like a brand new furnished kitchen here. Now you got extras. You could even go on Facebook Marketplace and sell some if you don't need them. A win is a win. An unfriendly coworker used to use my Keurig in my cubicle all the time. She brought her own pods in, so I really didn't care. Then she started emptying my Brita pitcher to fill her water bottle up every day after I left and never refilled it. I hate that. Annoying, but whatever. Then one day, a friendly coworker was standing at the entrance to my cube talking to me about a serious operation his wife needed to get soon. He was clearly worried and needed to talk to someone. The unfriendly walked up behind him, tapped him on the shoulder, and snapped, "You're in the way." The guy seemed embarrassed, apologized, and walked off. She walked in, started her coffee, and walked off while it brewed. I grabbed my bottle of Mio blackberry water flavoring and squeezed probably 1/3 of the bottle in her cup as the coffee filled it. She never used my Keurig or water pitcher again. Honestly, I wouldn't even be petty. I would just tell her to stop. If she's doing all that and she's bugging me, I would say, hey, do you mind not using my stuff, or maybe ask me before you just start using it? That would be great. I worked with a guy, we'll call him Bob, who is a bit of a prick. The quick rundown is he's very abrasive. He talks down to people. He's creepy about women who visit the office, and he looks down on people who do manual labor for a living. He doesn't really know how to do data analysis, so I find myself more often than not crunching numbers for the guy. It's not something I mind doing. I actually like data analysis. That makes one of us. I just don't really like doing it for him because I don't like dealing with him. I have, however, found a way to entertain myself with the way in which I present the data to him. You see, Bob is a die-hard Ohio State University fan. He grew up around there, he went to college there, and he will sing the praises of the only FBS team not to score a point in a bowl game last season. My revenge. All charts and graphs I create for him are in the University of Michigan's color scheme of blue and yellow. And every chance I get, I try to slip a quote related to Michigan, Wolverines, or media that references Wolverines in any form. I'm not sure if he's noticed yet, but it's getting harder and harder to subtly, I said that weird, insert Red Dawn X-Men quotes into my emails these days. Either way, I am entertaining myself, and that's all that matters. As long as you're having fun. That is so funny. Like, because a true football fan, something like that would genuinely irritate them. It really would. Seeing the colors of like a team you hate, it's irritating to them. That's hilarious. 3 months ago, I decided to quit my job. As a parting gift, I worked extra hard to raise our targets. Long story short, I was transferred to a team with bad statistics, bad workflow, attitude, bad everything. It came to a point that when I said to a colleague, please get back to work, there's a backlog, it blew into a fight about how I'm a princess who thinks I'm better than the rest. After a 1.5 years of arguments, attempts to tell HR how I ruined the team for making them work, I left my notice at my manager's desk. For the last 3 months of my notice, I've been working extremely hard, giving my 150%. Our higher-ups raised monthly targets 3 times already, and will do it once again. But this time, they will not achieve them. They have never achieved them before I came. Petty? Very much. Do I care? No. That is one way to go about it. I would just have a hard time after all that, putting in my notice and then giving it more than my all to this company that I was leaving and to people who might not deserve it. Petty, or like I choose, here's my notice, you're already gonna lose because I'm a good worker and I'm out of here, you know? Coworkers constantly misspell my name, so I've just started misspelling or completely making up new names for people in return. I don't do this when first meeting someone if they get my name wrong, but if it's someone I work with for years, I will call you Carla, even though your name is Carrie. No regrets. Oh, that's funny. I mean, I don't know. Some people are just really bad at not remembering names. I'm okay, but my favorite game is to Starbucks. When they say, hey, what's your name for your order? I just say Jocelyn. And then if they're like, oh, can you spell that for me? I'm like, just guess. And I tell them that it's like funny. I'm like, no, I love seeing how people spell it. And then they're like, oh my God, was I close? And then it's like a whole game out of it. Because I don't care. I think it's hilarious. I get S's a lot in there. I get Joslyn. I get Joslin. I've gotten every version of Jocelyn you can think of. Or if I say Joce, they spell it like Josh. And I'm like, does Joce sound like Josh? But I guess if you say it, it kind of does. Anyways, no one cares. Signed her up to stairlift company mailing lists, incontinence pad mail. I don't know what any of these are. Mailing lists, soft food meals on wheels lists, anything I could find that would be useless and annoying, because when my daughter passed away, I'm so sorry, she said, surely better age 2 than age 22. Surely better? I don't think anything's better. In that situation, losing a child at any age. Why would you say that to somebody? That's your way of sending condolences over someone who just lost a child? I just learned that you can sign people up for Jehovah's Witness, so get her address. Sign her up. They'll be knocking on the door trying to Jehovah's Witness. Earlier today, a coworker was walking around with a can asking for spare change donations. From what I could see of the label, I realized afterwards he was likely obscuring the full label on purpose. It was a kid's charity. Okay, cool. He got to my desk and I did have some loose change, so I dug it up out of my purse. As he held the can out, I put the change in. I saw the full label and noticed it wasn't a kid's charity. It was an anti-abortion foundation. I am quite fiercely pro-abortion rights. Maybe I gave about 30 cents. I held the rest of the change in my palm once I realized what it was, but it was the clear deception that pissed me off. And I know a good bunch of my other coworkers tend not to ask details about donations, so he got a lot of mindless donations. So I pulled out my phone and made a nice donation to my state's local abortion fund, and they let you do it in honor of someone. So I wrote, in honor of, and then the coworker's name, who thinks he can pull one over on us busy office people. Suddenly, Monday doesn't seem so bad. And look, a charity gets a donation, so a charity wins. Honestly, we're not even gonna get into that right now. We're just not. This man could have had his beliefs. You're entitled to your opinion, whether it's right or wrong, whatever. I'm not even gonna get into that because, however, it is the deception part of it. By you being like, oh, it's a children's charity. Of course people are gonna donate to the children. But had you been honest, a lot of people had the right to choose if they want to donate to that charity. I need a sip of water. Hydrate, everybody. Let's all hydrate together or get drunk, whatever you're doing. Among the many egregious sins my former boss committed, including gaslighting me into returning to the office mid-2020 when literally no one in said office wore masks or believed the pandemic was real. The worst was when he attempted to deny my bereavement leave requests after my grandfather, who helped raise me and whom I was close to, passed away. He could see I was clearly not okay, then had the gall to say, it's just a grandparent. So what? I lost mine too over the weekend. I saw red and nearly snapped, but somehow managed to stay mostly calm with only some sobbing. That's so sad. I had been struggling not to cry all day by this point. Fast forward about 5 months later, as I'm approaching my final days with the company, and I had accepted a new job closer to home and a far better fit. In a fit of pure F around and find out, I changed the lock screen image and desktop wallpaper on my work laptop to the most terrifying image of Gritty I could possibly find. Now my ex-boss, despite being a young Gen X person, is not good with technology. So now he wound up trapped with cursed Gritty staring at him with those cold dead eyes. Okay, well, I need to see Gritty. I might not sleep tonight, but you know what? Gritty. Oh, the mascot? Y'all, you're not talking about this mascot. I thought we were actually gonna see like some really crazy, like something you see in a horror movie that will actually give me nightmares at night. This stupid thing, he looks like Big Bird. He looks like literally a McDonald's character. Oh, okay. Well, that was underwhelming for me. I was expecting something scary. I have a burp. Excuse me. On that note, it's my cue to leave. Stay classy out there, you guys. Stay sassy, and I'll see you tomorrow. I say stay classy right after I burp. That's great.